Hey guys, meal planning time again. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start this video off with a couple of apologies. First of all, I am super sorry that this did not get uploaded when it was supposed to. Time just got away from me. I honestly don't have an excuse. Didn't even get it done in time. So there's that. Second apology, if you hear a lot of thumping going on, I thought it would be a good idea to come down to my craft room and do this really quick. And the kids thought it was a great time to start running laps directly above me. So it keeps sounding like a herd of elephants running over me, and it's even causing my light fixtures to vibrate a little bit, which in itself is a little concerning, but it happens. All right, so let's talk meal planning. Now, as you guys know, if you've been watching this, if you don't, here you go. Family of 9, I meal plan week by week. It's what works for us. Doing month out just does not function because schedules change, plans change, food availability right now changes. So week by week is what works. That's what we go with. I'm going to run through what we were doing last week, how that worked out, and then I'll show you everything we've got planned for this week. Okay, so last week I had a little bit of, I don't want to say a snafu, but it was where I had only written 2 things and I planned on making things that were not made from the week prior, which is something I'd previously said I wasn't doing, but these were things like time had just gotten away from me and there were things I actually had to make. So here's what happened. So the things I had written were chili and tacos. Now the chili did not happen on the cool weather days. Some other things did happen and it didn't. And now like today it's almost 90 degrees out. I'm not making chili right now. So there's that. I did not end up making marks next to the things that were new to know what I was and wasn't making. Now I can tell you that obviously the Instant Pot soup just still did not happen. Now you're going to notice here the eggs is crossed off, but not the bacon. Guys, for some reason, I was convinced that we had 2 packages of bacon in the fridge that needed to get used, that we had one, Sean had gone and bought another. Somehow I missed when we used both of them. I don't even have an excuse for that one. I don't know what happened. I thought we had it. Apparently I didn't check things well enough. So that happens. Roll with the flow and just keep moving on. So moving on to the next page for this week. Now you're going to see I do have a couple things written for next week. But this week, I'm going to shift around here. All right, we have homemade pizzas. Now this, I was going to go ahead and get the crust mix that we've been buying. That did not happen because when we went to grab it at Walmart, they were completely out of the ones that everybody likes. All they had was the Walmart brand Thin and Crispy, which the kids like the big fluffy crust when we make homemade pizzas. So we didn't get any, but Sean actually plans on bringing home some flatbread and we're going to use that to make pizzas instead. So that is how that plan got altered slightly. Grilled cheese, that we typically have bread on hand. We typically have cheese on hand. Fast and easy. I knew that the temperatures were going to be up a little bit this week. I also know we've got a couple things going on. So there's a few more easy meals this week. I do have tater tot casserole because I know that we have tater tots. I know that we have hamburger. We've got veggies that I can throw in that need to be used. So that's what we're going to go with there. Now, you're going to notice the next 2 things, the smoked chicken and mini roast, both have a question mark after them. Now, the reason I have a question mark after them is because we have these things. I need to use these things. I don't really know how I'm going to use these things. The smoked chicken we got from a private source when we got 2 whole chickens as well. I wanted to try the smoked chicken. Sean thought it sounded really good. I honestly don't know anything about smoked chicken. I've never done it. All I've been able to find is that when you smoke it, it should be fully cooked. So this thing should be fully cooked. I'm actually going to cut it up later today or cut into it later today. See if that is the case or if I actually need to cook it more. If you know anything about smoked chickens, I'd love information on that. Otherwise, guys, I'm doing kind of what you're doing right now. I use YouTube. Check things out. Find it. There's a lot of great information. Sean wants to throw it in our air fryer. So we'll see what happens there. If it is fully cooked, I hate to dry it out by cooking it a second time. So we'll see. I think that's where cutting it up and then maybe air frying it a couple pieces. We'll try it. We'll see. Okay, the mini roast though. So we have a little bit of meat left over in our freezer that is from a while ago. And I came across them. I didn't realize it was still down there. I've got a couple things in there that are on the verge of becoming too freezer burnt to use, but this mini roast needs to be used. Now I keep calling it a mini roast. Oops, I just bumped my camera there, sorry. It is literally about this big. It's probably 4 servings worth for a family of 9. So that's why there's a question mark after it, because I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. This may be something that I make as a separate meal for Sean and myself when the kids eat something that we can't, say the homemade pizzas, because the sauce and stuff doesn't work for him. I can't have the crust. So I might go ahead and make that as a separate meal for him and I, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it up and I'm going to use it in a different dish. Either way, I need to use that roast this week. Okay, then we have brats. Those are some of the Johnsonville brats that we had bought in a while back and then thrown in the freezer. We pulled those out the other day, so they are thawed. Sean's actually going to grill those up tonight. He has to fix his grill, so again, he is loving playing with the air fryer. He wants to throw a couple in there and just see what happens. I feel like that's a bad idea, but we're going to see which one happens, whether it's the grill, the air fryer, or a little bit of both. French toast. This was originally on for next week's. I thought it was on for this week, but Emmy is actually upstairs as I do this because we've already started this week. As of today, she's making that for lunch today. So I moved it to this week. And it works. Part of the reason it was over in the hopeful section for next week is it was if Sean was going to be able to get the breakfast breads to do it with, or depending what we have for bread, I was going to have to ask him and make sure he'd bring it home. I didn't realize he had previously, before everything got too crazy, when we saw things heading that way, he had brought home a few loaves of different breads. So we've got an apple cinnamon, a blueberry, and a cranberry and wild rice, I think, that he pulled out of the freezer last night, and it thawed overnight. So she is making 2 of those loaves into French toast right now. The other loaf the kids are just enjoying because they're yummy. That blueberry bread, guys, throw it in the toaster, butter it, tastes like a blueberry muffin. It's phenomenal. Kind of miss being able to eat that stuff, but it's okay. And then the only other thing that was on the hopeful side was nachos. That was because we had to get the chips. He was able to get the chips, so nachos happening. That's it. That is seriously what we're having for this week. Now, I have a feeling a couple other meals may actually happen. I keep bumping that camera. As we go throughout the week, because of lunches and everything like that, there's not a lot on there that works for leftovers. I do know that we have some freezer foods, and I really hate to replace too many of those right now because food is just expensive and it's not getting better. So trying to stay in our $300 a week budget to feed all 9 of us. And we'll see. There's, like I said, there's a couple other meals I may have to put in there for the purpose of staying on track. So if I do, I'll write them in. So you guys will see those next week when you watch and see what else I'm adding with those 2 things you saw in the hopeful category, and see what we didn't have. There it is. That is this week's meal plan. I hope that you guys get some great ideas from watching my videos on that, pairing it with my grocery haul and seeing how I make everything work for this many people. And if you missed our adoption journey update, you're going to know that at some point this summer, we have a couple extra kiddos joining our family as we are being licensed as a foster family. They're coming to us as a foster placement with a possibility of it being something more in the future. There's details to that, won't share, but that's just what it is. So you guys have to accept that much and join us in our excitement. This has been 2 years in the coming, and guys, we're pretty ecstatic. In fact, we get to talk to the kids again tonight on the phone. It'll be the first time it's a phone call, and we're gonna see how they do on the phone and how that's gonna go, but we're gonna be able to do that weekly and hopefully do more video calls soon so they actually get to meet the other kids. That's really what they wanted to do last time, but it was good for just us to get to talk to them that time. So there it is. That's my little mini update at the end too. So this is why you guys got to stick around to my videos. You just never know what kind of information is going to be thrown in there and how things are going to go. If you have any questions about the meal plan, how to do it, what I do, suggestions, or just comments, please leave that in the comment section down below. In the meantime, I hope that you are having a blessed day. Don't forget to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss everything else coming up next. And I'll see you in the next one.